The library was old and quiet. Dust covered the shelves. The books sat with their pages closed. Nobody had visited them in a long time. On a high shelf, tucked behind a stack of forgotten tales, lay a plain white paper. It was smooth and empty. It had no lines or colors.
What's the point of being blank? I wish something exciting would happen.
Day after day, the paper watched the dust fall. It listened to the clock tick. It longed for an adventure. One night, the paper had a dream. It dreamt of swirling colors and dancing shapes. It dreamt of flying high above the ground. In its dream, the paper wasn't just blank. It was covered in bright colors and beautiful patterns. It felt light and free.
When the paper woke up, the library seemed even duller. The dream felt so real. The paper wished for something more.
Suddenly, a gust of wind swept through the library. It blew open the windows and rattled the shelves. The paper felt itself lifted into the air. It spun round and round, higher and higher. The dusty books and the quiet library disappeared. The paper was on an adventure. The paper landed softly on a soft cloud of cotton. It looked around in amazement. This was a magical world hidden inside the library. Everything was bright and colorful. Pens were chatting and laughing. Crayons were drawing pictures in the air. The air smelled like fresh paint and old books. It was a wonderful, strange place. A wise old paintbrush with a long grey beard dipped himself in a pot of blue paint. He smiled at the paper.
Everyone has the potential to be amazing, he said. You just need to find your own way to shine.
The paper watched as the paintbrush danced across a canvas, leaving trails of brilliant blue. It had never seen anything so beautiful.
What if I'm not good at anything? The paper asked.
You will be, the paintbrush chuckled, swirling his brush in the air. Just believe in yourself and have fun.
The paper decided to try. It closed its eyes and imagined the colors from its dream. It thought about flying high in the sky. When it opened its eyes, it was covered in colorful swirls and dots, but it still felt like a plain piece of paper. It hadn't learned to fly yet. The paper felt disappointed.
Maybe I can't be amazing, it sighed.
Just then, a cheerful yellow crayon hopped over.
Don't give up, it cheered. Sometimes you need a little spark to get going.
The crayon drew a bright yellow line on the paper. Suddenly the paper felt a jolt of energy. All the colors on its surface burst to life. The paper felt lighter than air. It began to rise, lifted by the magic of the inkwell world and the belief in its own heart. The paper soared through the air, no longer just a plain white sheet. It was a beautiful kite, a burst of colors against the bright blue sky. The paper flew past the library window. The children inside looked up in amazement. They had never seen anything so magical. The library, once quiet and dusty, was filled with the sounds of laughter and excitement. The paper, now a beautiful kite, had brought joy and wonder back to the forgotten place. It had found its purpose. It had become amazing.